Hello everyone and welcome again to another session in this training, and this time around we're going to be looking at how to create flyer designs. Alright, this is the flyer design we're going to be creating first. Just a simple flyer design for a program that is coming up on the 17th of April. Alright, so this is an imaginary information. The information on this design are not real. I just thought of them. So now let's go and let's see how we are going to work on creating this particular design. Alright, so let's start up. My background is white already. So the first thing I'm going to do is to start creating the elements. Let me start putting the text. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to add in my new text, create, edit, and then I'm going to put in what is supposed to be there. Okay, well, let me check it again. Okay, success and conquest. Success and conquest. Alright, so I can tap on this place to make everything a cap log. Okay, so after I've done that, now I'm going to bring it to the center, and then I'm going to change my color to the color I want to use. Change the color to this particular color. Okay, don't let me change the color yet. Let me just put the color back as black so that you'd follow me as I'm doing it. Alright, so I'm going to be choosing a text from this particular place. I don't want to go outside, so that when you're creating your own, you'll be able to choose a text. So I'm going to be choosing this text, this create bold regular. I'm choosing that text, and then I'm going to align to the center. Since my design is aligned to the center, create my alignment to the center here, and then let me increase my size so that it's going to be more big. Alright, so following hierarchy, you know that the most important information in design should be the biggest. So the most important information is this particular thing, the trial, success, and conquest. So I'm going to put it in the center. Alright, so let me increase it more again, and then I can now put it in the center. Use relative positioning to put it in the center. Alright, so I can now make it more bold. Make it more bold and put it in the center. So it's in the center of the design now. Alright, so let me bring it down a little bit, because I'm going to put in something at this top. So let me just bring it down a little bit. Alright, so after then I'm going to put in the name of the name of the people that are organizing the problem. That's the name of the brand. So let's say the name of the brand is let me see the name I choose here. Okay, Conquer the World International. Alright, so I'm going to be using that same name here also, Conquer the World. International. Let me just put NL like this. Okay, so I'm going to use that, Conquer the World International. So I'm going to be using that same font also. I'm not going to be going outside that font. No. Okay, I don't want to use this font. Let me look for another font I'm going to use. Okay, I think there's another font I'm to use. Okay, I'll use this one. I'll use this one. Then let me use the first one. I'm going to use it. Alright, so now I'm going to change the color also to black, and then I'm going to reduce the size. Reducing the size, and then I'm now going to make it wider by adding spaces between the letters, just like this. So once that is done, I'm going to align to the center also. You know that we are aligning to the center throughout, since the whole design is aligned to the center. So make sure everything we are doing is always aligned to the center. Alright, this one also I'm going to align to the center, and then I can move it up a little bit. Alright, so this is done already. Okay, so the next information I want to put in, let me reduce the size of this one a bit. The name of the brand should not be as bold as the main information, you understand? Alright, okay, so the next information I have here is the particular information that is down there. So I'm going to put that in now, and then put in the shape. I'm going to put in the shape I want. Okay, so the reason I'm putting this particular shape here is, if I just put in the information there, it's not going to pop out. It's not going to pop out at all. Don't worry, you're going to see what I'm doing now. Let me just put it here first. If I just type it in here without putting any shape on the information I want to type on top of this particular place, it's not going to pop out well. So let me just type in what I want to type in, breaking the Okay, so don't mind what I wrote to. Just like I told you before, I just imagined it. I don't have information to use. Alright, so I'm going to be working with, you can see that I've used two fonts now on this design, so I don't want to use more than that. So I'm going to continue using this one again, this one. So I won't be using more than those two fonts. So on your design, make sure you're not using more than two fonts. Alright, so you can see that I changed this color to white because of the background is black. Because if I put it as black, it's not going to show, right? It's not going to show. So I have to make sure it is black. It is white, I mean. Alright. So now this, let me bring it well. Okay, I'm going to align to the center. Don't forget, align to the center, and then I'm going to bring it up a bit so that it's going to fit inside this particular place. Alright, so I'm going to reduce the size more, like this. This size more like this, and then I'm going to bolden it so it's going to show well. So after bolding it, you see that if you let me zoom in, you see that the text are looking like they are clustered together. So we are going to add space. You know, this space is for the line spacing, while this one is for the spacing between each letters. So let's add that one like this, all right. So now put that also in the center. Never forget, if you're aligning to the center, always make sure you're always putting it back in the center. But if you're aligning to the left or the right, then you'll be working with your ruler. You'll be working with this ruler here. Don't worry, when we get there, you see how we work with the ruler. Alright, so now I've gotten this already. Next thing I want to do now is to import the picture of the convener. So let me go into my gallery and I'll send you everything so you can use. Let me look for, okay, this is the image I'm going to be using. So I'm going to import it now into the application. This is it. Alright, this is the image of the convener. Just got this image from Google. So now I'm going to, okay, this is color filter you can use to increase the beauty of a particular image. Now for example, if I click on the color filter now, you can see this second place here, saturation. Saturation is used to make a picture more beautiful. So I'm going to increase the saturation so that the image is going to be more beautiful. You can see that it's becoming more beautiful. So you are not to add too much saturation, no, just use very little of that. All right, so you can see the image is more beautiful than when it was there before. Look at the difference. You can see the difference now. So let me put it back. All right, okay, so after then the next thing I have to put in is the date and every other thing on the design. So you can see everything now from here down is aligned to the center, right? So the remaining ones I'll have to put them here and here. So let's see how we can work with that. I remember we've not put in our colors yet, so let's just do that. So I'm going to create a new text, and then I'm going to, okay, don't let me create a new text. I can just copy this particular text here. Let me log this one up so I won't be moving it. So I can create this text here and use it to add a date. So the beauty of just copying the text is that you will need to be adding the font again because the font is already added to the text. Alright, so I'll just put that. You can see that I'm still not using more than two fonts. I'm not using more than two fonts on your design. If you do your own and I'm seeing more than two fonts, then you are not serious at all. Alright. Okay, so that's the date, and then I'm not going to put in, let me put a colon in front of that date so that you know. Okay, so I can now copy this date and then now put in my proper date. So the date would now be 17th April. Let's put 17th April on 2021 in front. All right, okay, 2021, or let's just remove 2021 since we're in 2021, so anybody that sees it should know, right? So let's change the color to, I want to put in a background on that, so I'll change the color to white, and then I can change my background color to black. Then so I'm working faster with this interface because I expect you all to already understand them, right? I expect you to already know how to maneuver through the interface. So I'm going to make everything cap lock. Okay, and I'm putting it here. So it's always good to work with text background because it makes your elements to pop out well. Imagine I didn't use a text background for this 17 April now. It won't make more sense. It won't make sense. Since the date is not with a background, then the real date, that which is the 17th April, should be in a background so that it's going to pop out well. Can you see? It's popping out well than every other thing. The same thing with this information here. This information here. If I didn't put a background here, it won't really make sense. Do you understand? So that's the reason I use that mostly. All right, so the next thing is going to be the venue. So I'm going to just, okay, let me copy the same text again, and then I'm going to put in, okay, all right, so this is the information. So let me just change the color to black. All right, so if you look at this side here, you can see that I made sure I was aligning my text to the left side. So let me reduce the spacing and I can increase the size now a bit. All right, so I'm going to make sure it's aligned also to that same place. So align to that same place. All right, let me just put in this in case there are people that are not in Nigeria, you know. All right, cool. So now that's for the venue and its color is black. All right, so now after then it's just remaining for this other side, this side here. So I'm just going to add in the remaining information. You can have the access, which is for the fee. Yeah, let me just delete it and copy this date. Access, and I can put my access here. All right, and then let me put in my access also with a background, because I would want free to be very bold with no background. So I'm going to make this one with a background so that it's going to be it's going to create a contrast between the two elements. All right, and I'm going to add in a little radius here to make it curved at the edges. So that I'm using to make the elements curved at the edges. And then I'm going to put in free, and also increase the size a lot. All right, okay, so I've gotten that now, and the last thing that's remaining is to put in the name of the convener. All right, so let me move this down a little so that it won't have too much space. Okay, and then so the name of the convener will be the last thing. So let me put in the name of the convener. Okay, oh, I'm copying it again. Let me just copy this one. Pastor Ojo Williams. All right, so I've gotten the name of the convener here. All right, so I can bolden it. I think it's bold already. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put in his name. I'm going to put in convener under, so they'll know that it's the convener. So I'm going to reduce the size, just according to hierarchy, reduce the size, since the name is more important than the fact that it's a convener. I hope you understand that. All right, so after that now, I'll just make sure I put it in the center. All right, so after then I'm now going to, that's all, but I can just put in an arrow to signify that this is actually the name and this is the convener. So let me just put an arrow here. I'll show you a little difference. Okay, put the arrow as black also, and then I'm going to bring it down here. I'll rotate it on top, and then I'm just going to put it somewhere here. I can reduce the size a little bit. I'll put it somewhere here just to show that, okay, this is the conveyor. All right, so we are through now with this particular design. So now it's remaining for us to add color to the design. Now for us to add color to this design now, we are going to have to, normally I would have helped you with color wheel and stuff like that, but there's no time. So we're going to be working with the color on this man's clothes. The color on this man's clothes. All right, so I'm just going to, okay, just correct. So you can see the color on this man's clothes. We have the blue color and we have this blue color and we have this second color. All right, so we're going to go into our app if we can see any color like that. So let's just tap on this and check if we have any color like that. So I'm going to see, okay, I think we have this color. This is one of the color and that's the same color on his shirt. So we're going to be using that color, and then we're now going to have to look for the blue color. Now to get the blue color, let's say, okay, let's just click on any icon, and so that we can get the blue color, we'll click on color, and then we're going to click on this plus icon here. Click on the plus icon. You're going to click on this particular icon here. You click on it, so it's going to bring you here. Then you now click on the man, I mean the image of the man. You click on it, and then you now tap on his shirt and click on OK here. So after clicking on OK now, you can see the color here, and you can see that, we've increased the saturation, so it's now more sharp. For that reason, we also have to increase our own. We're going to tap on this and increase it to this side a little bit so that it's going to be sharper. So we're going to increase it a little bit. You can see that the color is changing over here. All right, so we can now use this particular color. All right, so we've gotten the two colors here now. We have this one color and we also have this one color. All right, so let's change the color to white. So the next thing we want to do now is we're going to start distributing the colors to the design so that it's going to make more sense. All right, okay, so now we're going to just tap on this one. Now let's try to put this color, let's try to put in two colors and see if they'll make sense. We put this color here. Okay, let's see. Definitely we can't put this other one, it's going to be too sharp. Let's put this one and see if it would work. Putting that one now, we have to put a blue color here also. No, I mean as the background color, blue color as the background color. Okay, that's correct. Here also we want to put a blue color also as background color. All right, and then for the icon here, since we've used blue already, we would not use blue anymore. We're going to use this particular color, and then for the conveyor also we are going to use the particular color. All right, so the design is getting more bright. Let's bolden this one. So for the venue, we're going to choose a different color for the venue. To do that, we're going to move these particular things. You see this thing here, you can move it and select only the venue. So I selected only venue, so with that I can just tap on only the venue. All right, so the design is already set. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is let's just add a little background on that to see how we can make it more attractive. So let's go to download. I think I have some things I've downloaded already, so I can just add it as the background image. Okay, this is one. I have this skyscraper effect, so I can just increase the size and put it down at the back, and then reduce the opacity just to create the effect I want for me at the back. All right, so the design is already set. So let me lock the skyscraper effect that is at the back. Okay, it's already set. This particular element, I want to make it more bold. Okay, more bold, and I can reduce the size down since it's more bold. Reduce the size, and I can increase this one too, and then put it in the center. All right, so it's okay now. Let me reduce it a little bit like this. Okay, all right. Okay, so the design is cool, but it's still looking very more bright. It's looking more bright. Let's bring this one down a little bit so that the space between this axis and this will not be too much. I think it's okay like this. All right, the design is still too bright, so we have to remove some colors. to balance it well. Let's remove this. So let's turn this color back to black. All right. Okay. So I can save it this way, and if you want, you can also turn your color back to blue and use it that way. But this should be all, and then I'm just going to save it as an image. And that will be all for the flyer design. All right. So after then, I just go to my gallery and I have it already in my gallery. All right. So this will be all for the flyer design.